What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. What I got for you guys in this one is I'm going to show you guys the fastest and easiest way to complete the entire Season 5 Reloaded camo event and unlock yourself the brand new Eddie Supreme camo. This camo is definitely worth grinding for. It took me only around 2 hours to complete every single challenge and be able to unlock this. So with this guide, hopefully you'll be able to do it even faster. Section off the video into different challenges, so that way the more difficult ones or the ones that you would want tips on, you can check that out without having to watch the entire video. But there's going to be a total of 10 different challenges, and it's going to be for every single category of weapons. So ARs are going to have one, SMGs, and so on. You'll only need to do the challenge with any type of AR, just as long as it's an AR. And once you complete that, you will unlock the Eddie's camo variant for every single AR that you have. And once you complete every single section, you'll unlock the Eddie Supreme variant, which is going to be the mastery camo that we have for this event. And it is animated, although you can barely see it. The animation is not too good in my opinion, but it has a secret feature to it, which I think will actually make it worth grinding. And that is a glow in the dark feature. I don't believe many camos have this feature, but this one actually does. And I took it into the black and gold. I tested it out. I compared it to a regular weapon with a different camo on it. And as you can see, it's completely dark. You can't even see the weapon at all. And then with that one, you have the glow in the dark features that it has. So anyways, these are the camo rewards that you'll be able to get. Now let's talk about the fastest way to be able to do this event. So you can actually do this in any particular order that you want, but I would recommend that you follow this order where you do the secondaries first. So do melees, launchers, as well as pistols. Do those first, mainly for the reason that this will help your skill-based matchmaking. So if you're doing the melee eliminations and you're getting maybe like 10-15 kills a game, you're doing the same thing with the pistols. After 2 to 3 games, the lobbies will start getting easier and it will help you with your other harder challenges, so that way you'll be able to get those done and out of the way easier. So use the skill-based matchmaking to your advantage. Anyways, the first challenge that we have here is going to be get 250 operator kills with an assault rifle. You have to either do this in multiplayer or in Warzone. If you don't have multiplayer access, I would recommend that you take advantage of Plunder as well as Vandal Lockdown. These are modes where you can get high kill gameplays. You'll keep respawning until the game ends, and this will give you the best opportunity in order to be able to use the ARs, and you'll be able to use your own class loadouts. If you're on multiplayer, I would recommend Shipment 24/7. Close quarter combat, giving you high kill gameplay chances. If you casually play the game, this is a challenge you really don't need to worry about. You'll end up completing it regardless from now until the end of the update. The next challenge that we have is going to be for the battle rifles, which is get 40 operator kills while prone with the battle rifle. I would recommend, once again, Shipment 24/7. What I did is I would just go in there running around drop shotting people. Just make sure that the last bullet that hits is while you are prone for it to count. Another thing that I was doing is I was using the TAC V and I was running around diving, and then as soon as I hit that prone position, I would just start shooting at everyone. And usually people would have their crosshair placement a little higher so they wouldn't notice a person prone, and by the time they noticed me, I had already eliminated them. So that's something that you can do. It helped me out. I was able to knock this one out in around a game and a half, I believe. So it's very easy and very straightforward to do if you are on multiplayer. Now, if you are on Warzone, what I would recommend once again is Vandal Lockdown or Plunder. What you can do is knock the player down. You don't need to be prone to knock them down. Once the player is knocked, go prone and finish them off, and then that will help you with the challenge. And if you're on Vandal, you can also go to the lockdown zones and sit prone, wait for people, and then everyone will start showing up, and then you can get eliminations that way. For the next challenge that we have, this is going to be the Marksman Rifles. Get 40 operator kills while using a Suppressed Marksman Rifle. I ended up using the SAB Marksman Rifle for this one. Here's the following tunes that I ended up putting. I just adjusted everything for the ADS. It was very easy and straightforward to use. I made sure to tune it to where it would be as fast as possible, so that way I could just run around in shipment and just quick scope people and just snipe them as fast as possible to get it done. And it does give hit markers if you're aiming lower, but if you are aiming upper body and you're in a short distance, it won't get that much hit markers, and that's why I recommend Shipment 24/7 for this one. If you're on the Warzone side of things, I would recommend you use any other weapon, so maybe like an AR or something, to knock the player down. Once they are knocked, tag them just like once or twice, and then pull out the same weapon and then just snipe them, and then that should count for the challenges as well. The next challenge that we have is going to be for the launchers. This is going to be get 75 enemy kills while using a launcher. If you have multiplayer access, this is straightforward. Just jump into shipment, maybe pull out an RPG, and then just run around using that. That's exactly what I did, and I was able to eliminate players. Now, one tip that I can recommend is do this challenge with another one at the same time. So for example, if you look at this clip, I'm running around with the RPG, I'm shooting it. The scavenger doesn't give you any launcher ammo, so I would need a ammo box, and you don't really get that as often. So what I would recommend you do after you run out of ammo, and if you're still alive, rather than just run around until someone eliminates you, pull out your other secondary weapon and use that and help complete your challenges until you get eliminated, and then repeat the process again. So in my case, after I eliminated players with the launcher, I pulled out the sniper, went for the sniper headshots until I got eliminated, and then I just repeated the process again, and I was able to kill 2 birds, 1 stone, and save a little bit of time. You can also do this challenge in DMZ, but I highly would not recommend it. I just jumped in there and I ended up wasting my time. You need to spam a bunch of ammunition boxes because it's very hard to come across the ammo. And by the time you get munition boxes or you go to resupplies, the ammo and the time is just not worth it. And on top of that, the AIs eat those launcher bullets. So a lot of them don't get eliminated if they have shield. So you need to hit them 2 or 3 times, or at least tag them up before you shoot it. And in my opinion, I found that it was a big waste of time. I sat in Ashika Island and tried it for like 30 minutes and barely got any elimination. So I would recommend that you do it in Vondel, because that one has unlimited ammunition boxes where you can constantly keep spamming these RPG bullets and you'll be able to complete it that way. The next challenge that we have is for LMGs. This one is going to be get 30 operator long shots using an LMG. This was the hardest challenge for me to do. You obviously will not be able to do this in shipment, so I would recommend that you go into hardcore, but the problem is you'll have to uncheck like search and destroy, free for all those types of modes, and leave only the good ones. So like domination, TDM, those types of modes are good. And then the problem is that if the map is really bad, you're gonna have to leave the lobby, and I would recommend you don't waste your time, because I ended up wasting a lot of time trying to play a bad map, and it was like a waste of time. 10 minutes for like 2 eliminations, so that was not worth it at all. So just keep backing out until you find a good map. Once you do, head on over to an area and just be patient. Hold down the scope, wait until players come to you. Once you start eliminating players, usually they get irritated and they keep coming back, and they'll get you some free kills that way. But that's how I did it. And then if you're on Vondel Lockdown, just land a little bit further away. I used the Sakin, use a good scope, maybe something further away with thermal on it, and that will also help you get eliminations that way. But the next challenge is going to be get 30 enemy kills using a melee weapon. This one's very straightforward, so I don't want to talk too much about it. You can do it in the same modes, shipment 24/7, Vondel Lockdown, and plunder. Just run around, knife people, or you can knock someone and then knife them if you're in Warzone. The next challenge that we have is going to be handguns. Get 50 enemy headshot kills with a handgun. I can recommend that you use the Desert Eagle or the Basilisk if you have good aim. One shot to the head will eliminate them. If you have bad aim like me, you're probably going to have to use a auto pistol, which is what I did. And then I just put a red dot scope on it and an extended mag and ran around shipment 24/7 and did it that way. Once again, same thing in Warzone. Just knock the player down, aim at their head, eliminate them, and you'll be able to do that. The next challenge that we have is going to be for shotguns. Get 3 operator kills without dying 10 times using a shotgun. For this one, I used the MX Guardian and went to shipment 24/7 and went into the center crate. That one really irritated people. So I would run around, get 2 eliminations, then I would go right to the center, wait for someone, eliminate them. Once people started catching on that I was camping there, they would come to me and I would just sit there and keep feeding off of them. And it was just the easiest and fastest way to get it, because once you eliminate a player with the shotgun, they get very mad and they just keep coming back and they keep feeding you, and then that way you can keep getting your eliminations and then completing it. If you end up getting hardpoint, you can also go to the actual hardpoint and people will come to you that way. So it's a very straightforward challenge, but I would recommend you take advantage of the center. The next one that we have is going to be for the SMGs. Get 100 operator headshot kills with SMGs. If you're on Warzone, knock the player, get the headshot, and you'll be able to complete it that way. I tested it out just to show you guys that it actually works. But I ended up getting eliminated, but you still see the icons appear saying that I ended up completing it and getting the camo. So that works really well for Warzone. If you're on multiplayer shipment 24/7, just run around and then just aim high. Aim a little bit higher than the head and then work your way down. That way you'll always get a headshot rather than always getting a body shot with a little bit of headshots per game, which will take you way too long because you're going to need to get 100 of them. The last and final challenge that we have is for sniper rifles. Get 50 operator headshot kills with a sniper rifle. And as I mentioned earlier, you can combo this with the launchers. I ended up using the SPX sniper. Here's the loadout that I ended up having for it. And I would recommend that wherever you spawn, you just stay there. Typically, you're going to be behind a box in shipment. Stay behind that box. Wait until players start crossing or they get in your line of sight. Line up your shot and get it that way. I feel like that is the easiest and fastest way that you can do that. So it's better than to run around. Obviously, it's going to take you time to aim in if you're running around, and they can eliminate you before you even get the shot off. So just sit behind the box. There's going to be other people doing the same challenge which you can get feeds and kills off of them. But anyways, these are all of the different challenges, and that is how to complete it. I was able to get it done in around 2.5 hours, around 3 hours. With this guide, you should be able to get it done even faster, but you do have plenty of time from now all the way up until the end of the Season 5 Reloaded update. So you could take your time, maybe do 1 or 2 of these challenges a day, and you'll get them done and completed easily. But anyways, that's all that I got for you guys in today's video. I hope you guys found it informative. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to always stay up to date on the latest Call of Duty news and updates.